All right. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you. I'm Patrick Witt. I'm running to be your next insurance commissioner. I'm proud to say that I am the only insurance commissioner candidate in the entire country endorsed by our 45th, and if we're lucky, our 47th president, my former boss and the greatest president of my lifetime, Donald J. Trump. Now, a lot of folks don't know what the insurance commissioner does, and even fewer of you probably know who I am, so I'll try and shed some light on both of those things. Number one, I grew up here in Georgia. I was a football player, grew up on the football fields all over this state, was a quarterback at Parkview High School, and then had an opportunity to go play briefly in college and then the NFL with the New Orleans Saints. After my football days ended, I went on to law school, and President Trump got elected when I was in law school. And I went to one of the most liberal law schools in the country. I survived, thank goodness. But it was the kind of place that Ketanji Brown Jackson goes to learn and forget what a woman is. It was that kind of place. And I survived, thank goodness. And if you can come out of there and retain your conservative values, you can survive pretty much anything. But I watched as President Trump got elected and watched the people at my school melt down in front of my eyes. They were the sons and daughters of that liberal machine that exists to ensure that things like Donald Trump don't happen, right? That ensure that the people don't rise up and take their country back and take the power back. And I was frustrated by everything that I saw during the Trump administration with all the liberal deep staters trying to kneecap the America First agenda and work against President Trump. So I said, I can be frustrated on the sidelines or I can go get involved. So I went to serve under President Trump. I served in the administration. I was deputy chief and then chief of staff of the Office of Personnel Management. I led the implementation of all the Drain the Swamp executive orders trying to get rid of the swamp creatures like Anthony Fauci. And I proudly led the implementation of the executive order to eliminate critical race theory from our federal government. One of my other responsibilities at OPM in the federal government was negotiating health insurance on behalf of 2.2 million federal workers and their families, about 9 million Americans in total. And with the art of the deal president in the White House, it should come as no surprise that we achieved some of the lowest premiums in the past 30 years. Major success. And so when President Trump asked me if I would run for insurance commissioner, he said it's an incredibly important position. I won't do my Trump impression. Katie will laugh at me. It's decent, but I'll save it for another day. But he said it's an incredibly important position. I know the work that you did in my administration. I want you to bring that same kind of America First mentality to the state government of Georgia. And so I told him, I'd think about it. And not 24 hours after we had that meeting, if you remember the Canadian truckers' protest up just to the north of us, one of the first things that the Trudeau government did was they tried to cancel the truckers' insurance as a means of quelling the protest. And so I thought to myself, look, the battle that we're in right now, the battlefield is expanding. It's expanding into every facet of our lives, into our classrooms with critical race theory training, into boardrooms with diversity, equity, and inclusion, and every other facet of life. You can't escape it. And we have to start fighting in all of these different arenas. And I will bring that same kind of mentality to the insurance commissioner's department. So I want to do three things. I'll make you three promises what I'll do as your next insurance commissioner. Number one, I'm going to keep your costs low. Number two, I'm going to keep your insurance from going woke. And number three, I'm going to keep insurance companies honest. Okay, number one, in this Biden inflation economy that we're living in right now, every dollar that I keep in your pocket matters. Georgia has one of the highest premium taxes in the entire country. A lot of people don't know that. Our governor gets out there and claims that we're the number one state to do business in. Well, that may be true for some industries, but it's not true for the insurance industry. Aflac was started here in Georgia. You know where it's domiciled? Nebraska. Because we have some of the most unwelcoming taxes for our insurance companies. And that drives up costs for you and me. We bear the brunt of that premium tax, not the insurance companies. So number two, I'm going to keep your insurance from going woke. I don't know if you know this right now, but your insurance commissioner tried to pass HB 1013. He was a vocal supporter of that bill. That bill would have mandated insurance companies to cover gender reassignment surgeries and hormone blockers for kids. If I get elected your next insurance commissioner, that bill and any other socialist scheme like that ends at my desk. I will also never allow insurance companies to discriminate against you based on your decision of whether or not to take the COVID vaccine. All right, I'll wrap up by saying I'm Patrick Witt. I'd be grateful to have your vote. I'm an America First fighter, and I'm endorsed by President Trump. I want your endorsement too. I want your vote. Thank you.